Breaking news, breaking news, breaking news. Yeah, I said breaking news. We had a semi-potential troll come into my comments to say it's everything breaking news. On my channel, if I want everything to be breaking news, it's gonna be breaking news. You get your channel and you make what you wanna make breaking news. Now, this about Tory Lanez getting locked up for Megan Thee Stallion, getting hit up 14 times, then the bodyguard coming forward and Kelsey, her best friend, coming forward. They writing affidavits to get him out. It's about to be on and popping. Sit back, enjoy the ride, and subscribe to my daughter's YouTube channel at Unique Mecca Audio. All right. All right, you know what it is. We on YouTube, we over here, we doing our thing. This about Tory Lanez. We're going to get right in it. We're going to give you the history of, how he got locked up. We're going to get to the mechanics of it. And then we're going to get into that new evidence that they got to show that, he may be coming home. From what I know about the law, I say he will be coming home from the affidavit I seen, because I seen people come home on lesser affidavits, and the trajectory of how the bullets was fired and everything, it add up, and we're gonna break it down from a gangster point of view. So sit back and find out what's really going on with Tory Lanez. All right? Let's go. You know how we do.
Tory Lanez can't seem to catch a break, fam. First, he was served a dime for allegedly letting off shots at Megan Thee Stallion. Then, as if that wasn't enough, he just got shanked multiple times while locked up in prison.
He was stabbed 14 times.
What's got the hip-hop community worked up the most are talks that Tory Lanez has passed away while undergoing treatment.
He didn't even know his lungs had collapsed. All he knows is that he couldn't breathe.
A lot is going on. Let's get into it. The shocking attack. According to multiple verified reports, on Monday, May 12, 2025, at approximately 7:20 a.m. local time, Tory Lanez got jumped and stabbed by another inmate at the California Correctional Institution in Tehachapi, about 75 miles north of Los Angeles. The Say It rapper, whose government name is Daystar Peterson, was allegedly attacked by an inmate identified as Santino Casio, who's serving life with possibility of parole for some...
Now, that's a real crazy case right there. He allegedly had a little young girlfriend of like 13 years old. They got in an argument one night. He gets mad and he points a shotgun at her and whacks her in the face. Like, who does that? And the crazy thing is, as you listen to this, you're going to see that he's at this Chacapika jail, which is a 50-50 jail, which we call it in the feds a dropout yard, from 2004. Caught a new case in about 2008, got another 6 years, then in 2018 got caught with a knife, and they still keeping him at this dropout yard. At these dropout yards, normally if you get any 100 series, which means serious incident report, your ass is out of there. So for him to stay there, they must know he either can't make it nowhere or he was working with those people. And we don't put bones over here, but I'm just telling you how it goes when you have a man that stays on a dropout yard for 20 years and winds up catching 2 serious charges that went to the outside court, as we call it, not the prison court line, as they say in the state of New Jersey, or the DHO, Disciplinary Hearing Officer Committee in the feds. You understand? Let's get back to this.
Serious charges, including second-degree murder. The attack was no joke, straight savage. Lanez caught 14 stab wounds across his body, with 7 to his back, 4 to the torso, 2 to the back of his dome, and 1 to the lee side of his face.
I wonder why, right? And somebody put this in the comments if you know. I wonder why they didn't say whatever the injuries was that Casio got. Because that was a whole lot of injuries to happen to a man without him getting anything back. It sounded like they was going at it. Either that or Tory didn't have his joint with him and the dude was just gutting him. Because that happens too. That's why you can't leave home without your God you now when you on the street. That's why I say don't get on the street, because if you leave home with your God new now you got to worry about the police stopping you with it, and that's mandatory prison time. So the best thing to do is get out the street so you won't need your God you now. If y'all don't know what God you now is, somebody put in the comments, let them know what time it is.
He was stabbed 14 times, 5 times in his back, 1 under his left cheekbone. In fact, his jaw was open. He was stabbed twice in the back of his head, and the rest in his torso, arms, and in his chest.
Most alarming, both his lungs collapsed from the assault, which had him on a breathing machine right away. That's the type of situation where it's touch and go, real talk.
It may seem sensational, but thankfully, like Dr. King, it was close to his heart but did not penetrate. He said
that was because God did not feel it was Tory Lanez time to go. But karma is a vicious, stinking, no good. And I know y'all know that. It may not be something that he did that the karma is coming back to catch him 14 times in Chattanooga prison. It may be something his generation before that, or the generation before that, or the generation before that. Because sometimes karma lets it ride and then catch you when you least expect it and say, time to pay up. Now your great-great-grandson or great-great-grandnephew is locked up in Chattanooga prison out in California, and he's hit up 14 times. But at the same time, the family did good somewhere down those generations before, because he made it to be a big platinum star. But still, karma wants hers. So that's why I say don't get involved in the street, because you ain't trying to pay her, and you ain't trying to let your loved ones pay her. And she know who to collect from, the one you care about the most. If it's you, it'll be you. If it's your wife, your kid, your daughter, your dog, your mother, your pet monkey Bubbles, she gonna get hers.
Said, and I quote, "Dad, I thought it was my last."
The correctional officers acted fast, giving him first aid and calling for emergency services. They rushed Lanez to a local hospital for immediate treatment. The incident happened in one of the housing units, and while nobody's exactly sure why dude got stabbed, both the prison's investigative services unit and the Kern County District Attorney's Office are looking into it. The alleged attacker, Santino Casio, 42, ain't new to violence inside the walls. Records show that Casio been at Tehachapi since February 2004, Ayer coming from Los Angeles County Jail, and has caught additional charges while locked up, including a 6-year sentence in January 2008 for attacking another inmate with a weapon, and a 2-year bid in 2018 for having or making a deadly weapon. Ayer put
Did you hear that? This man caught another 8 years while in a prison, especially what they call a 50-50 yard in Cali and a dropout yard in the feds. You don't go to these yards and violate their rules, because in order for them to allow you on their yard, you have to show that, you're willing to be debriefed if you're a gang member. That means you tell them how you got in, the rules, the codes, you turn over whatever documentation you have, and then they think about letting you on the yard. Now, once they do decide to let you on the yard, they let you know anything you do to violate our rules, we're going to send you back to the very men that you just told us on. So then dudes know to act cool when they go to them yards. So it's not a surprise he lasted 20 years there. It's a surprise that Casio caught a 6-year bid in 2008 and another 2-year bid in 2018 and still remained in the same dropout yard. Somebody put it in the comments if y'all ever heard of that. Y'all been in the state now to dropout yards work. Do dudes normally continuously catch charges and they don't transfer them? Because I know in the feds, you catch a charge, your ass going back to the wolves that you just dimed on and turned into a rat bastard in order to come on a compound. That's how that roll. Let's keep it moving.
putting hands and shanks on Lanez, Casio got thrown in the hole while they investigate what went down. We've been getting updates on Tory's condition mainly through his verified IG and statements from his pops, Sunstar Peterson. An Instagram post from Tory's official account broke down his injuries and mentioned he was temporarily on a breathing machine. By May 13th, just a day after catching those 14 holes, medical staff had already started removing tubes that were draining fluid from his lungs, according to his father during a press conference on May 14th, 2025 in downtown LA.
The reports in the hospital is that he is doing remarkably well. I was told yesterday, because they had already taken out the tubes that were draining the fluids from his lungs, they had already taken them out by the time my wife and I got there.
The latest word as of May 14th is that Lanez is recovering remarkably well, despite what he went through. Homie is breathing on his own, talking normal, and keeping his spirits up even though he's in mad pain. People close to him say he's thankful to be alive for such a vicious attack and appreciates all the support from his day ones and fans showing love. It's important to remember that this attack comes while Tory's already going through it. As most of y'all probably know, Lanez is serving a 10-year bid getting convicted in December 2022 on 3 felony charges related to the July 2020 shooting involving Megan Thee Stallion.
Now, what I want y'all to understand that I catch from this, right, to give y'all something you may not have caught. Tory's going out 100% gangster based on the street code. Here goes evidence coming in saying he didn't do it. He took it to trial knowing in his heart he didn't do it. And he blew trial knowing he didn't do it, and he still didn't tell, knowing he didn't do it. And then he gets caught up in the prison, and Casio comes and wets him up 14 times. And he still didn't tell who did it. And y'all can't see the gangster in that? And I ain't saying that to brag. I ain't saying that to boast about it. I'm saying that if you ain't cut like that, get out the street. Don't get involved in the street. Because there's an innocent man allegedly sitting in prison in California, got wet up 14 times, and still didn't tell. And knows who pulled the trigger and how the whole thing played out, and he's still not telling. That's what you call keeping it G. G for gangster. I'm not promoting y'all do that. I'm telling you, if you're not cut like that, to actually sit there and take 10 years for a crime you know you didn't commit, and all you had to do was tell them your side for your freedom, and you have to say, I'm not cooperating. And that's why I say it's not worth it. Don't get involved and then go do what you feel you need to do. But don't get involved in the street and say that you this, you that, and then something happened, and all of a sudden now you flip-flopping and looking like a cold rat bastard. But I'm telling you, don't go in the street. I'm telling you it's not worth it. I served 26 and a half years in federal prison for doing everything wrong under the sun. I paid my debt to society. I retrained my mind to be able to not think, to react violently when I get angry or I get confused or feel embarrassed or insulted. Because that's where a lot of these crimes come from, when men, young men, child, decide to act upon their feminine side, which is their emotional side. And that's why I had Tony, could we ride? I had to go speak to a group of young kids up in Washington Heights today, because it was, one of them, a student lost his life. And we're talking about 14 and 15 and 16-year-old kids, man. And I'm trying to let them know that who you choose to be around shows us who you are or who you're going to be. Don't be with anyone that don't have the same positive agenda that you have. If you have this negative agenda that you want to run the streets or whatever, go do that on your own. Don't pull anyone else into your foolery and bad decisions. Because they may look up to you, don't mean you ruin them when you know you're ruining your life. 9 times out of 10, the person that chooses to go on the street, he already know that he messing up. But the way they was raised is like it's a badge of honor to mess up and wind up in prison. It's a badge of honor to take another man's life. This is the mentality, and this the mentality that we trying to unravel and separate. Just so you understand. Let's get back to this.
Charges were assault with a semi-automatic firearm, having a concealed unregistered burner, and negligent discharge of a firearm. He started his sentence in August 2023, AR being transferred from LA County Jail to the state prison system. The stabbing has reignited all the old debates about Tory's original case, with the timeline still divided. Adding to the drama, Tory's legal team called a press conference on May 14, 2025, just 2 days after the stabbing, to announce what they claim is new evidence in his shooting case. But we'll get into that juicy development in a minute. For now, let's peep how people initially reacted to news of the stabbing. The word spread like wildfire across major outlets and social media, with reactions all over the spectrum depending on how people already felt about Tory and his conviction. Many fans and some artists in the game expressed concern and sent prayers. On X, some users pointed out that no matter what you think about Lanez, celebrating violence ain't it. One user tweeted, "Celebrating Tory Lanez getting stabbed is degenerate behavior. There should never be a time where you wishing death on someone on behalf of a celebrity." Similarly, journalist Megan Cuniff, who's been covering Tory's case heavy, said, "The amount of violence in our prisons is horrifying. It is not at all funny what happened, and no, he didn't deserve it. But keeping it a buck, there's also been people showing zero sympathy or straight up celebrating. What happened?" These reactions usually reference Tory's conviction for shooting Meg, suggesting karma came back around. These types of comments show how toxic social media can get when controversial figures face violence, especially when there's already bad blood. Beyond just sympathy or hate, the stabbing has people coming up with all kinds of conspiracy theories. Some social media users are connecting dots between the attack and the supposed new evidence in Tory's case, while others are questioning if the whole stabbing might have been orchestrated for some type of legal advantage. One ex-user even speculated, "I don't think Tory Lanez was stabbed. I believe that his team orchestrated a plan to relieve him from incarceration." These reactions show just how complicated public opinion gets when
That's not complicated public opinion. That's stupid public opinion. You think he's gonna voluntarily get stabbed 14 times by a Mexican for no reason? By another black for no reason? A white person for 14 times to bring a come on, dog. Where do they get these conspiracy theories? Have they not been in jail? Do they not know what cold steel feel like, penetrating the skin and drawing attachment to warm blood? Do you not know what that feel like? Oh, I guess not. That's why you said something stupid like he orchestrated going through that feeling. That's not something you want to go through. I know some people, right? Because we ride. That was a question we used to ask our friends a lot. What would you rather be, stabbed or shot? Because I'm about to shoot you or stab you in your face. Oh, let me tone it down because y'all ain't really ready for that. We ain't take y'all to the next phase in the dark side of the street yet. But, you know, I know a dude that'll tell you straight up, yo, you know, what you want? You want to get shot or you want to get stopped? Pick your poison. And you better believe he's going to shoot you or stab you. So you better pick one before he get aggravated and just decide to shoot you. You know? But these are the things that happen on the street. And I've seen them, men get shot and then come back and still be amongst the team that he got shot at because he know he violated and he deserved to get punished. And it's not up to him to decide the punishment, to say, no, smack me on the wrist. No, make me pay a fine. No. On the street, it's blood. You violate, like they say, blood in, blood out. Any violation is paid with blood. That's why they got the DP. That's why you get the beat down. So if that's what you want, go for it. It's there for you. But I'm telling you it's not worth it. Now it's up to you what you do. You have to make that choice because you, just like, right, let's ride. Just like, that's why I don't worry about who telling on who this, who that. That's not my business. I stay in my lane. If you could sleep good with yourself at night, that's all that matters. not how I feel about it, and vice versa. I sleep great at night, other than the demons that come out and haunt me, and I start sweating up my shirt. I mean, other than that, I sleep good. But for what I'm used to trying to sleep through, that's a peaceful night to just sweat up my shirt and wake up with crazy cold sweats. That's a beautiful feeling compared to when the demons was coming. I could deal with that one, because that's just a worrisome demon. But when the demons come and they start flashing everything that you did wrong, violent or bloody in your face when you're trying to sleep and you're trying to dream about your loved ones, but they showing you this and you wonder if this means that karma is going to grab one of these people that I'm being shown in this dream. Why put yourself in that? Just live a righteous life and you don't have to worry about picking up karma coming to get you. Or your next generation, or your loved one next to you in this generation.
Celebrities catch cases. The division of opinion on Tory reflects bigger conversations about justice, accountability, and how public opinion influences high-profile criminal cases. Let's back up a bit and give some context about why Tory is locked up in the first
let's find
place,
out.
which is crucial to understanding this whole situation. As mentioned
let's
earlier,
ride.
Lanez is doing a 10-year bid for shooting Megan Thee Stallion in July 2020. The incident popped off an argument following a pool party at Kylie Jenner's crib in the Hollywood Hills. According to what came out in court, Tory allegedly dissed Megan's rap skills during an argument in an SUV, which led to her stepping out of the vehicle. As she walked away, he reportedly yelled, "Dance, bitch!" and bust shots at her feet, wounding her in a way that required surgery to remove bullet fragments. In October 2020, the LA County District Attorney's Office hit him with 3 felonies, and after a 9-day trial in December 2022, the jury found him guilty on all counts. On August 8, 2023, Los Angeles Superior Court Judge David Hereford sentenced Lanez to 10 years in prison. He got credit for about 10 months time served, bringing his effective sentence down to around 9 years and 2 months. The DA's office had asked for 13 years, while Tory's team was pushing for probation or minimal time, citing his charity work and childhood trauma, including losing his mom when he was just 11 years old. Initially, Lanez was held in LA County Jail, where he said he was in a half-size cell on 24-hour lockdown. He claimed to be leading daily prayer groups and helping keep things peaceful in the protective custody unit. On September 19, 2023, they transferred him to North Kern State Prison in Delano, a medium security spot, before moving him to CCI Tehachapi, about 100 miles north of Los Angeles, which houses both medium and maximum security inmates. Throughout his bid, Lanez has maintained his innocence regarding shooting Megan. His legal team filed a motion for a new trial, arguing insufficient evidence and improper admission of evidence, like Megan's testimony about Tory's parole status. Judge Hereford shut that down on May 9, 2023. Additionally, in September 2023, the court denied a bail motion that would have allowed Lanez to chill in Los Angeles with his wife and son during the appeal process. The judge cited the violent nature of his conviction, his history of violating court orders, and his risk of deportation as a Canadian citizen as reasons to keep him behind bars. Despite being locked up, Tory's still been active with his music and maintaining his public image. He's continued dropping tracks, including collections labeled Lost Tapes, recorded between 2015 to 2020, Prison Tapes, recorded while locked up, and Twitch Tapes, recorded live on Twitch before he got locked up. In 2025, he even dropped an album called Peterson, described as the first ever in real-time prison album, recorded entirely while he was inside using AI technology. The album reportedly hit number 25 on the Billboard 200, showing Tory still has pull in the industry despite...
Yo, that's big. He did that. Hit the Billboard Top 25 from behind bars with just a cell phone. And y'all tell me that y'all can't get a job, you can't create a job when this man is behind bars and putting out music using AI and everything else, and y'all out here free to get anything you want and don't have to worry about the police making count, making sale checks, doing none of that. Stripping you butt naked, making you bend over and cough and spread your cheeks to make sure you ain't got a cell phone in it. Y'all ain't got to worry about none of that to get a cell phone to make the money that he went through, all of that, and then took that phone to become number 25 on the top Billboard. That gets a round of applause. That gets a round of applause. All right. All right, relax. Let's get back to Tory. Let's ride.
His legal troubles. With everything that has happened, his fans still hold on to the hope of his release, while his legal team tirelessly works to make it happen. new evidence, and legal twists.
Yeah, let's hear the new
Just
evidence.
2 days, Air Tory caught 14 stab wounds at the California Correctional Institution in Tehachapi. His legal team pulled up with a press conference that added even more controversy to his situation. On May 14, 2025, Lanez's lawyers, working with a nonprofit legal organization called Unite the People, UTP, gathered journalists and supporters in downtown Los Angeles to drop what they claim is game-changing new evidence related to his 2020 shooting conviction.
Mr. James informed Unite the People that he was witness to the conversation Ms. Harris had where she stated she had the gun, she fired it 3 times. In essence,
Yo, you heard that? In other words, she's saying that she had the gun, she fired it 3 times, and let's hear the rest.
Mr. Peterson never shot anybody.
The timing of this announcement, coming right ere Tory nearly lost his life in that prison attack, immediately had people raising eyebrows and speculating about possible connections between the two events. According to reports from the press conference, Tory's team introduced testimony from Bradley James, who they identified as the former bodyguard of Kelsey. Harris, Megan Thee Stallion's ex-bestie, who was present during the shooting incident in July 2020. James's testimony flips the script on the events that led to Tory's conviction. James claims he overheard Harris admitting during private conversations that she, not Lanez, was the one who bust shots at Megan Thee Stallion on the night of July 12, 2020. According to his account, Harris allegedly let off 3 shots at Megan, and Tory tried to stop her by grabbing her arm and knocking the gun down, which resulted in 2 more shots being fired accidentally. The former bodyguard, supposedly not tied down by any NDA, non-disclosure agreement, said he came forward because his conscience was eating at him, insisting that Lanez never shot or assaulted Megan, as was determined in the original court case. If true, this testimony would completely contradict the story that got Lanez convicted in December 2022 on 3 felony gun charges. Tory's legal team, joined by political commentator Gianno Caldwell and UTP consultant Walter Roberts, argued that this new evidence suggests Lanez was wrongfully convicted. They came for former Los Angeles County District Attorney George Gaskin, pointing to alleged prosecutorial misconduct, missing forensic data, and what they described as a politically motivated sentencing. At the press conference, the legal squad went further, calling for California Governor Gavin Newsom to cut Tory's sentence or grant him a pardon, emphasizing the urgency given his recent hospitalization AIR getting shanked. They've also started a petition on change.org shared through Tory's official X account.
Hold up. So what are they saying? I'm not bad mouthing. I'm just keeping it G right now. What are they saying? That because he was hit up 4 times, he should be let out of prison? You know how many people was hit up 14 times? I think I might have said 4, but I mean 14 times. He was hit up 14 times, so he should be let out of prison for that. You know how many people I know was hit up 20 times and 30 times and they still don't get out of prison? So what? If that's the case, then they're really gonna orchestrate. Don't stop it. I mean, they say some of the craziest stuff on. Come on, man.
To build public support for getting him freed. The emergence of this alleged new evidence has sparked major debate across various media outlets. It's important to emphasize that Megan Thee Stallion has consistently maintained that Lanez was the shooter throughout the original trial and everything that followed. Her attorney responded to the new claims by stating that the case was properly handled in court, suggesting that the new testimony doesn't change the facts established during the trial. The timing of these new claims, dropping so soon AR the stabbing incident, has fueled all kinds of speculation and conspiracy theories about possible connections. Some social media users have suggested the attack might have been orchestrated to generate sympathy for Lanez before the new evidence revealed, while others have proposed that the stabbing might have been an attempt to silence him as the new evidence was about to come out. For example,
Yeah, please give us an example on how you're talking about silencing before the new evidence come out.
one user on Platform X posted, "It's crazy how Tory Lanez gets stabbed before the new evidence came out that Kelsey Harris shot Megan, not Tory. This case is finally about to turn around." Another user theorized that the stabbing was a hit ordered by someone potentially connected to the forthcoming evidence. According to details shared at the press conference and reported by various outlets, Bradley James claims to have been close by when Kelsey Harris had private conversations where she allegedly admitted to being the real shooter. His testimony suggests that Harris, not Lanez, was the one who let off shots that injured Megan Thee Stallion. According to James, the shooting went down very differently from the story that led to Tory's conviction. He claims that Harris busted 3 initial shots at Megan, and that Tory then tried to intervene by grabbing Harris's arm and knocking the gun downward, causing 2 additional shots to go off accidentally. This version of
Now, that's a good strategy. I think Tory could get off on that. Or as we say in the prison, I think he could get some get back on that. Do y'all think Tory could get some get back on this new evidence? Put in the comments if you think Tory could get some get back on this new evidence. And let me know if you feel he should get some get back. Or you think this is all a bunch of crap and they making all this up. Give me your opinion. Put it in the comments.
Events, if proven true, would paint Tory not as the aggressor, but as someone who was trying to prevent more violence. James reportedly said he was coming forward now because his conscience was heavy, feeling that an innocent man was wrongfully locked up. He indicated he wasn't bound by any confidentiality agreements that would prevent him from sharing this information, though it's still unclear why he didn't come forward during the original trial. Besides James's testimony, Tory's legal team has suggested there are other elements that call the original conviction into question. They've allegedly pointed to DNA analysis, showing only a 0.01% chance that Lanez touched the gun used in the shooting.
As the attorneys laid out here today, the prosecution failed to produce a single shred of forensic evidence tying Tory to the actual gun.
And you know, forensics is everything now. So they saying they got no forensic evidence, meaning no of the littlest molecule that he handled that gun that he's accused of shooting that the police got right away. Break it down. Could have wiped it off real quick through to the cut, but would that have gotten everything off for the DNA? Doubt it. That DNA is not nice.
His fingerprints weren't on it. His DNA was later found to be 100% nearly excluded from the gun, as shown in the worksheet that was provided to the defense late on the eve of the actual trial, after making a request for that very document. After trial, looking at this evidence, there is a 0.01% chance Tory's DNA was on the firearm.
They've also raised concerns about missing evidence, including claims that the actual gun and bullet used in the shooting were never properly processed or presented at trial. The legal team has characterized the original trial as fundamentally unfair, suggesting that Tory never had a real chance to present his side due to what they describe as bias, media pressure, and prosecutorial overreach. They argue that these factors, combined with the new testimony, justify reconsidering his case at the highest levels, which is why they're appealing to Governor Newsom for clemency. The controversy surrounding these new legal claims has blown up on social media, especially on Platform X. Posts from some accounts have emphasized aspects of the new claims, such as the alleged lack of DNA, fingerprints, or gunshot residue linking Lanez to the shooting. Other accounts have highlighted Bradley James's testimony, presenting it as potentially exonerating evidence. Tory himself has been active on social media despite being locked up, posting on X on May 14, 2025, urging supporters to sign a petition for his release with the hashtag #FreeTory. The petition, started by the Caldwell Institute for Public Safety, has reportedly gained significant traction, though exact numbers aren't available as of this report. However, not all social media reactions have been backing Tory or buying the new claims. Some users have expressed skepticism about the timing and credibility of the new testimony, while others have reaffirmed their support for Megan Thee Stallion. Some of these posts expressed frustration with abusers and their supporters, reflecting the polarized nature of public opinion on this case. The situation is further complicated by Tory's continued musical output despite being locked up. As mentioned earlier, he's released music recorded both before and during his bid, including a 2025 album titled Peterson that was reportedly created entirely within prison using AI technology. This ongoing artistic presence has helped maintain his relevance and visibility, ensuring that developments in his case continue to attract significant public attention. It's worth noting that Tory's legal troubles extend beyond the shooting case that led to his current incarceration. In December 2024, Megan Thee Stallion filed for a restraining order, alleging that Tory was harassing her from prison through third parties, including a blogger who was allegedly spreading false claims about missing evidence. In January 2025, a judge granted a 5-year restraining order, effective until January 9, 2030, prohibiting Tory from contacting or harassing Megan. As the situation
Can you believe she got a 5-year restraining order? That's why I was sitting here drunk just listening to this. I'm like lost. A 5-year restraining order because she's saying that he's making 3-way calls to call her. Do you think that, let's just take a ride, look at the negatives. You think Tory could be just, have his man calling and tell her, yeah, I'm getting ready to come out, I got evidence, I'm going to get you. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, I'm getting ready to show you that I'm going to get out and I'm going to ruin your career. You know what I mean? I'm getting ready to come out, I'm going to blackmail with these people. He could be saying anything. And that's why they say, give me that 5-year restraining order. I guess it makes sense. Do you think it makes sense to give him a 5-year restraining order when he's in jail because they feel that he's harassing? How much harassment can he do from in jail? Really, they should be giving the person that's making the 3-way calls the restraining order as well. What do you think? Put it in the comments. Keep it moving. All right.
situation continues to unfold, several key questions remain up in the air. Will Tory's legal team formally submit their new evidence through proper legal channels? How will the courts respond to these claims if they are formally presented? What impact, if any, will the stabbing incident have on Tory's legal situation? And perhaps most immediately, how will Tory's recovery from his injuries progress? The answers to these questions will likely emerge in the coming weeks and months, potentially reshaping the narrative around one of the most controversial celebrity legal cases in recent years. For now, let's explore the broader implications of this case, examining how it reflects and influences societal attitudes towards celebrity justice, violence, and the power of social media in shaping public opinion. The aftermath and broader implications. The stabbing of Tory Lanez at California Correctional Institution hasn't just raised concerns about his personal safety, but has also put a spotlight on the larger issue of violence in America's prison system. According to numerous reports, Tory is currently on the mend, with his condition described as fair as of May 14, 2025. Updates from his verified Instagram account suggest he's in good spirits despite being in pain, and is deeply thankful to God for surviving the attack. The medical response seems to have been quick and effective, with prison staff providing immediate first aid before Tory was transported to a medical facility where he received more comprehensive treatment. The alleged attacker, Santino Casio, has been thrown in the hole, restricted housing, pending investigations by both the prison's investigative services unit and the Kern County District Attorney's Office. As mentioned earlier, Casio has a history of violence within the prison system, including previous convictions for assaults on fellow inmates. This pattern raises questions about how violent offenders are managed within correctional facilities and what measures are in place to prevent such attacks. Moving beyond the physical attack itself, the legal developments that followed have introduced new complications to an already controversial case. The claims of new evidence suggesting Kelsey Harris, not Tory, was responsible for shooting Megan Thee Stallion represent a potentially dramatic twist in the narrative that led to Tory's conviction.
Do y'all believe that? Do y'all believe that it was Kelsey bullet instead of Tory's bullet that killed? I think they just making this as the ploy to kind of get Tory out of jail. Somebody put in the comments, let me know what's going on, because we really need to know.
Substantiated through proper legal channels, the testimony of Bradley James, Harris's former bodyguard, could raise serious questions about the original verdict. According to the claims made at the May 14th press conference, James alleges he overheard Harris admitting to shooting Megan, and that Tory actually tried to prevent further violence by intervening. This account directly contradicts the sequence of events established during Tory's trial, where he was found to be the shooter. The legal team's decision to present these claims through a press conference rather than through formal legal filings has legal experts giving them the side eye. Also, the team's call for Governor Gavin Newsom to pardon Tory or commute his sentence, particularly in light of the stabbing, further suggests a potential strategy to leverage public opinion and sympathy. By connecting the new evidence claims to the violent attack Tory suffered, his legal representatives may be trying to create a compelling narrative of injustice that resonates with both his supporters and those who might be on the fence about his guilt. The reaction to the stabbing itself has been similarly divided, though with some notable nuances. Even among those who believe strongly in Tory's guilt, there has been recognition that violence against inmates is a serious issue that shouldn't be celebrated. Others have been less sympathetic, suggesting that the attack, while unfortunate, must be viewed in the context of Tory's own alleged violent actions. Posts on social media platforms have included statements like, "Talking about us laughing at Tory Lanez isn't right when y'all get up here and laugh, joke, make memes, and demonize Megan." The split in reactions to both the stabbing and the new legal claims underscores how deeply entrenched public opinion is regarding this case. Looking ahead, several factors will likely influence how this situation plays out. The most immediate concern is Tory's physical recovery from getting shanked. While reports suggest he's improving, the severity of his injuries, including collapsed lungs, points to a potentially lengthy healing process. His medical condition will necessarily impact any legal proceedings or potential prison transfers that might be considered in light of the attack. On the legal front, the big question is whether Tory's squad will follow through on the claims presented at the press conference by formally submitting them through proper legal channels. If they do, the courts will need to evaluate Bradley James's credibility as a witness and determine whether his testimony, if accepted, would be enough to warrant reconsidering the original verdict. Meanwhile, the investigation into the stabbing itself is ongoing. If Santino Casio ultimately catches charges in connection with the attack, that legal process would run parallel to any developments in Tory's original case. The outcome of this investigation could potentially impact decisions about Tory's placement within the prison system, particularly if it's determined that he faces ongoing safety risks at CCI Tehachapi. Another significant aspect of this case is its impact on the parties directly involved, particularly Megan Thee Stallion. The shooting and subsequent legal proceedings have had profound effects on her life and career. In interviews, she has spoken about the trauma of not only the shooting itself, but also the public scrutiny and skepticism she has faced. In an interview with Elle magazine, she described the guilty verdict as a victory for women who have been shamed for speaking out about violence.
Now, if that's true and she know that Tory didn't shoot her and she's sitting here getting victory this and victory that, do you think that's right? Somebody put in the comments, she done got praise for this and then now it look like it's turning upside down. If God so choose and it turns upside down, what do you think should happen to Megan? Does Megan get a perjury charge for getting up there lying? If they accept the affidavit, that might be what would give Tory Lanez a little hurdle because they don't want to have to go lock up Megan Thee Stallion, female, never did time, for the release of Chad Marks. Come on, dog. All right.
The continued litigation of the case in both legal proceedings and public discourse means that this traumatic chapter remains open for Megan, potentially prolonging the emotional impact of the original incident. The new claims by Tory's team, regardless of their ultimate legal validity, inevitably bring renewed attention to the case and may subject her to further public commentary and speculation. For Tory, meanwhile, the stabbing represents a significant additional trauma during what was already a challenging period of incarceration. While much of the public discussion has focused on the legal implications and potential connections to his case, it's important to recognize the human impact of such a violent attack. Reports indicating that he suffered 14 stab wounds and collapsed lungs suggest a physically traumatic experience that will likely have lasting physical and psychological effects. The case has also sparked discussions about the role of social media in shaping narratives around high-profile legal matters. Platforms like X, Instagram, and Reddit have become spaces where competing narratives about the case are constructed and contested. The instantaneous nature of these platforms means that new developments, such as the stabbing or the press conference announcing new evidence claims, can quickly generate waves of reaction and speculation before the full facts are established. As this story continues to develop, several key dates and potential milestones lie ahead. Tory's recovery from the stabbing will be closely monitored, with updates likely to come through both official channels and his social media accounts. If his legal team follows through on their press conference claims, formal filings related to the new evidence would represent a significant development in his case. The investigation into the stabbing itself is ongoing, with potential charges against Santino Casio representing another important juncture. Any decisions regarding Tory's placement within the prison system, particularly if safety concerns prompt consideration of a transfer, would also be noteworthy developments. The long-term implications of these events remain to be seen, but they have already ensured that Tory's case continues to be a focus of public attention and debate. The intersection of celebrity, violence, legal processes, and social media discourse has created a complex situation that resists simple narratives or easy resolutions. For those following the case, including the many fans of both Tory and Megan Thee Stallion, the coming weeks and months are likely to bring further developments that may clarify some aspects of this multifaceted situation while potentially introducing new complexities. In conclusion, the stabbing of Tory Lanez in prison and the subsequent...
Yeah, what do y'all think about that? Let me know, because him and Megan got in it, right? She said that he shot her, now her best friend Kelsey's coming out saying that Tory's not supposed to be in prison, that, it was her, that he was trying to block the gun, that he's a hero. Y'all put in the comments, let me know, all right?
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
Fresh out the can of 26, yeah. He back on the strip, getting back in the mix. Yeah. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Real. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. An Instagram page and a YouTube you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a raw in Uptown. They be horn Uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend an ear. He started in Uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours, so we can give back to the
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.